The next question is from Whoopiex. What do y'all think of SmackDown moving to SyFy channel in October? I think Brian, you answered this question through a comment.
Basically, this is what I think, guys. Um, I think that them moving from a network station to a cable station is going to allow them to raise the bar on the programming. They're going to get better advertisers for their commercial spots. They're going to get less commercial interruptions, or maybe more aptly timed commercial interruptions. I think there's going to be more money floating around. I think they're going to be able to go a little more hardcore. And you know what? Somebody said it best in one of the comments that maybe them going to SyFy, this might become the slightly more hardcore aspect of the WWE. Only time will tell.
I really don't have anything to say about this question or any comments because I really don't tune into SmackDown. So, I mean, what's going on SmackDown, I really don't know as far as Dolph Ziggler being Intercontinental Champion and Kane winning the World Heavyweight Championship. That's as far as SmackDown that as I know of. I really can't give him my comment on the question. But let's move on. Petar 930814 asks, "Do you think TNA will get bigger ratings in 1 year?"
I think if TNA can continue to move on the path they are now, acquiring a couple big stars, using them properly, using their own homegrown talent properly. What I mean is AJ Styles, Kazarian, Joe, but using them along with Anderson, Hardy, RVD, some of the EV 2.0 guys, then, let's see more X Division. Where's Amazing Red been at? Let's get Shannon Moore back in there. I mean,
yes, they need to bring the X Division back to where it is because right now, right now you got the strap on Williams, and it seems as of late it hasn't been really being defended on Impact, but more of as a pay-per-view type thing.
I am very excited about the television title, though. I think if that is defended weekly on Impact, this is going to be huge for TNA.
I think what they should do is if they're going to bring in a TV title, what they need to do is they need to make a whole new concept belt for the television because, I mean, it went from the Legends Championship to the Global. Now it's the television. I mean, you can't really be switching the name of the belt all these times,
Well, the whole point of him switching the name of the belt, well, in AJ's mind, is that he changed the name of that belt to honor Ric Flair, who used to be a television champion and who used to defend that belt in weekly television bouts. And I think that's the concept that AJ was going for. I do kind of agree. Maybe the design of the belt needs to be altered slightly. Maybe change the Legends plate to the television title plate, or do something with it along those lines.
Exactly. Next question. Oh, I'm sorry. But my point is, if TNA continues to do what they do, tear it up on Impact, with the matches that they've been having, the current storylines that they have, and just maybe honing it and sharpening it up just a little bit, cleaning it up, less promo and more in-ring action. Yes, by all means, I could see TNA picking up big ratings for over the next year.
Agreed.
The next question: what do you think about John Cena about being the face of the WWE, and do you think Orton could have been the face?
We kind of covered this in our other video. I think Cena is going to become a heel, and I think Orton is going to become the heel face in between kind of guy, and I think he's going to become the champ.
Yeah, I mean, WWE just is blatantly trying to recreate something of the past with John Cena, as in Hulkamania. If you've seen my video, Past vs. Present, Cena Nation vs. Hulkamania, I speak very poorly about John Cena and the Cena Nation. I'm not bashing the Cena fans. It's just I don't know how people can back a guy who only has 5 offensive maneuvers. That's like trying to say Mikey Ripwreck was the greatest champion of all time.
Well, I think Cena does bring a lot to the table in the PG era of the WWE. In the PG era of the WWE. 10 years ago, would have Cena been a bigger star?
Nah.
No. Now, he has a nice position. Since Cena over to TNA, he wouldn't fit into the wrestling that profile. I mean, you go to WWE for entertainment, you go to TNA for wrestling.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the way it is.
Total non-stop action, World Wrestling Entertainment. There's two completely different concepts there. Orton. There's not much. There's a lot to be said about Orton. I could go on all day about Orton. I liked this guy when he was with Evolution because he was cocky, he was arrogant. The Legend Killer gimmick was amazing, phenomenal. I believe I answered in one of the previous questions. Could he have been the face? Oh, definitely. If it wasn't the PG era, I mean, I could easily see Orton playing a villain in a movie or a villain on a television show. Batista was actually on an episode of Smallville a few years back, and he did a movie not too long ago called The Wrong Side of Town with RVD. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for Orton if the WWE allows him to. I mean, I could see him doing a great film for the WWE.
Oh, exactly, exactly. But
In
yeah.
ring ability, is phenomenal.
Oh, phenomenal. I mean,
He's a second generation star.
yes, and there was actually some comparisons between his RKO and the Diamond Cutter, and I was kind of arguing in favor of DDP, but as I've watched more Orton footage, I do got to say, they are very distinct maneuvers. Both superstars,
Both delivered it differently.
Delivered differently, but both sold it excellently, and that's where I'm gonna leave that at. Do you mind if I grab the next one?
Sure.
Cool. Why isn't Randy Orton the face of the WWE? Because I think Randy Orton really fit the heel character that they needed at the time.
Yeah, I mean, they needed somebody to go out there to feud with Triple H at WrestleMania. They needed someone to go out there and feud with some of the top dogs like Cena,
The McMahons,
Edge. They needed somebody to go out there and sell the storyline. Now, a lot of people refer to Randy Orton as Headlock Orton. We won't name any people. But you know what? I mean, over the last couple of months, Orton's been coming into his own as of late. And I just think that the WWE looks at Orton and not seeing much of a cash cow, but I want to say in my mind, he's more over than John Cena. I mean,
I think John, unfortunately, in the new demographic in the WWE, I think John Cena's really over. And I think that's what's kind of scary, is that that they are willing for the little bit of antics he provides to sacrifice the in-ring ability. And I'm not hating on John Cena. I think he is a decent character. I think he brings okay enough to the table. But compared to the in-ring action we used to see 10 years ago to what he could bring, I mean, the fans seem more willing to be able to take it, and I'm not understanding it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much we can continue on with this question. I mean, Orton has what it takes to carry the WWE. I mean, we all thought that Triple H didn't have what it takes to carry the WWE, and look what happened. I mean,
Triple H evolved into an incredible character.
I mean, his biggest push was when he was labeled, coined phrase, the Cerebral Assassin, and he ran with that gimmick for a long while. And what?
Jim Ross was the developer of a lot of things. I mean,
exactly.
A lot of people don't know this. Jim Ross backstage was the vice president of talent relations. He was a very powerful individual within the WWE. He'd helped develop a lot of characters in the Attitude Era, and why do you think things have been kind of falling off within the last year? Jim Ross is not involved with WWE anymore, and I think without his presence, there's going to be a big change in the creative content for the Southern Direction, negative. Down.
Exactly. Next question from Patar 930814 says, John Cena better been heel. I believe that what you're trying to say is John Cena made a better heel. In my mind, yes, he did. I mean, he went out there, he feuded with Kurt Angle for his first couple of months he was there. He feuded with Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. That was when John Cena was at the pinnacle top of his game. When he started getting over with the fans, and he had that elimination match, Survivor Series match, and that was a key point of him turning face. I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I would rather see John Cena heel right now at this point, just to see what it would do for ratings. I mean, WWE's current rating status has kind of been in the toilet as of late, but only time could tell. I mean, there's still a lot of years left on John Cena. Let's see what happens.